We're going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to create 2 stations for a circuit class. I'm going to divide this just primarily for camera reasons so that there's not a lot of movement. I'm going to divide this workout into 2 parts. I'm going to show the first part this week, and then next week we'll show the other part. I've got 2 stations that I've got set up here in my kitchen. Now what a circuit is that you do an exercise and then you go back around and you might do the same exercise or you may do a different exercise. The amount of time that you use to do each exercise, I'm leaving that up to you. I'm not wearing exercise clothing because this circuit in my kitchen is a circuit that I could do throughout my day. I have 5 exercises, different exercises at 2 of my stations here in the kitchen. So when I walk into the kitchen, and you'll see me do that, I can go to a station and I can do an exercise, I can walk away, and then maybe half hour later come back and go to that station and I can do another exercise. So I can be exercising all day if I choose to do that. I will ask though that you pay attention to your body. If one of the exercises doesn't suit you, then obviously you're not going to do it. All the exercises will be printed below the video in the description box. So you will have access to those exercises. For me, at my stations, I have them written on a small piece of paper and I've just got them placed. Nobody's going to come into my house because we're all social distancing, so it doesn't matter where I have them. I do want to stress good footwear because some of the things that we're going to do will require that you are well supported and that you won't slip on whatever floor surface you might have. So I have 2 stations. My first station is here at the sink, and then I have another station set up at the farther end of my counter. I'm going to be working 2 different body parts. So right here at the sink, I have my list of exercises, which I have here. The first one are heel raises. So after a little bit of a warm-up, you might have walked around, you might have done some marching, some knee lifts, your body feels good, you're ready to go. So I'm here at the sink. Maybe I just finished drinking my cup of coffee. I'm rinsing my cup. Heel raise, right here on my paper. I'm going to do some lifting of the heels. So I'm working on my calves. I can do this 10 reps if I choose to do that. I might hold my heels up and lift up. So I've got a little bit of pulsing here. And then I might go down and up. Again, you're going to decide how many times you do this. Maybe you'll do 10, put your heels down, walk away, stretch it out a little bit, come right back. Notice my body's in a nice vertical position, and I'm going up and down again. I might do two sets of 10, I might do 3 sets, depends on how you're feeling. After I think I've done enough, I'm going to put my heels down. I'm just going to step out a little bit, stretch it out, and then I'm going to go and do whatever else I need to do. I've come back into my kitchen. I'm at my other station. I've got another list here of different things that I can do. I've got it placed here with some water bottles that I might use for hand weights or soup cans. If you don't want to use any kind of weight, you don't need to. So if I'm using my soup cans, and I've got my list here, just tucked right there, I'm the one that knows where they are. My first one are bicep curls, so I'm going to work my arms. I'm doing it here in the kitchen, so if I'm not sure about stability, support, I could physically put my body up against the counter. If I were to lose my balance for whatever reason, I can be quick to put my hand down on top of the counter. I'm going to put my elbows right by my side, and I've got my bicep curls going. I could do it with my arms straight up, moving forward. I could angle my hands at 10 and 2 o'clock if they were the hands of a clock. Okay? I could go up, halfway down, up, all the way down. You can decide how you want to do your bicep curls. After I've done enough, I can feel my biceps doing the work that I want them to be doing. I can put my cans down. I can just rotate my arms, a little bit of a stretch, and then I'm going to go into the other room because I've got some work to do there. All right, so I'm coming back. Maybe I've been gone 20 minutes, half hour, maybe even longer. I'm at my sink again. Maybe I'm getting myself a glass of water. Oh look, I could do some squats. Why not? I'm going to put my hands right here on my counter. That's why I prefer the kitchen sink, because it allows my fingers to go over the countertop and I can hold. My body's in a nice vertical line. My toes are pointing forward. I'm going to take my shoulders and roll them back. I'm using my hips. I'm going to push my hips back. Hands on the counter. I'm going to go down and I'm going to stand straight back up. I've got all the weight in my heels and I'm coming straight back up. Now, how deep do you go in your squat? That really is dependent on you. How do your knees feel today? What I'm not doing, I am not letting my knees travel forward. This would be a travel forward, and that's not what I'm doing. I'm shooting my hips back. Could I do this with just one hand so that maybe I'm working my glutes, my hamstrings, my quads a little bit more? Absolutely. Can I go down really deep? Sure. Or come back up. Again, it's dependent on you. I could go down halfway. I could hold here. I'm literally lifting my toes up off the floor. That way I'm sure that I'm shooting my weight back. I'm working my upper thighs. I'm done doing squats. I've had enough. I'm going to just do a little bit of a hamstring curl. It's safe. I have my hands on my counter, and I'm done. So maybe I leave the room and I come back into my kitchen and I just happen to walk here. Oh, look, tricep kickbacks. Let's do something a little bit different. I'm going to put my hands right by my thighs, roll my shoulders down and back. I'm going to lift my elbows behind me. I'm going to kick my arms back and bring them forward. Kick and bring them forward. Kick and bring them forward. Now, if I want to hinge my body slightly forward, I'm going to pull my abdominals in. Again, I'm hinging from my hip. I'm not rounding my back. I've got nice long upper body and I'm kicking my arms back. And again, I can hold my arms here. I could do lifts. I could do a combination, kick back and a lift. All right, I'm working the back of my upper arms. That's where my triceps are. That's what I'm working. I've had enough. I'm going to put it down. I'm going to go do something else. All right, so if I come back to this station, and you know what? I could actually come back to this station and just stay here and say, all right, front arm raise, a different exercise. Palms down. I'm going to lift both arms up and bring it down. So I don't have to alternate between my stations. I can always go back and do the same station, but different exercise. So what I've done for my straight arm, front arm raise, I've tipped my pelvis just slightly forward, just a little bit of a pelvic tilt, tighten my abdominals. I'm lifting my palms or my arms up as high as my chin and bringing it down. I could alternate one arm at a time, nice and slow. We don't want to go fast, full range of motion. Could I bring it up toward the ceiling? Yes. Again, pay attention. How do my shoulders feel? How does my low back feel? I'm not going to do something that doesn't feel good. All right, and I'm going to bring it down. Let's go back and do a little bit for the legs. This one is a heel lift, different from the heel raise. Heel raise, I was raising my heels off the floor. Here I'm going to work my hamstring. I'm going to flex at the ankle and I'm going to bring my heel. I'm going to lift my heel toward my glute and bring it down. When I do that, I can feel the back of my upper thigh immediately. I'm pushing through my heel. I'm lifting and lowering. My shoulders are down and back. Again, I've pulled my abdominals in tight. Because I'm on one leg, I'm going to hold on to the counter. This is a good place to do this kind of exercise. Again, I could do little pulses. I'm working the back of my upper thigh, my hamstrings. I'm going to bring that leg down. Let's go to the other side. I push right through my heel. Again, shoulders down and back. I'm nice and tall. Nice, and I can do a little pulsing if I want to. Remember, you're deciding how many of these repetitions you're going to do. And I'm going to bring that down. Nice job. I can walk away. I can go do something, different part of the house. I come back later in the day. Here I am, side arm raise. My palms are going to be right down, facing my thighs. And I'm going to lift my arms out to the side as high as my shoulders. If my shoulders don't feel good, maybe I'm only coming 2/3 of the way up. Bring it down. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. lower. So think about what your body's doing. What we don't want are the shoulders to come up. They stay down. Using though the shoulders, those deltoids, to lift the arms. And again, you're in charge of how high the arms go. I'm going to go with one arm up, and then I got the option of going with the other arm up. I could do both arms at the same time. So change it up so that it feels different to you. And then both arms up if I want to do that. All right, I'm going to bring my weights down. All right, I'm back to the station again. Side leg lifts. Again, shoulders down and back. I'm tipping my pelvis. Heel down. I'm going to lift the leg out to the side and bring it in. Lift to the side and bring it in. Do I want to practice my balancing? I can do that. I can take one hand off the counter, leaving the other on the counter. And I'm lifting out to the side and down. As you lift, make sure you can see, I've got my toes looking straight ahead. Okay? So what I'm not doing, I'm not rotating my foot out. I'm lifting using my abductors, my outer thigh. Those leg muscles right here doing the work. I can hold it up at the top, short little pulses. Good. And I can bring it down. So we do the same thing on the other leg. Push down to the heel, toes stay straight ahead. My body stays in this lifted position. Okay, so what I don't do is lift so high up that I tip that upper body. I'm not like a teapot, nice and tall. Upper body doesn't move. Only going as high as my hip will let me. Hold it up at the top and little pulses. Good. And bringing it down. Let's do one more exercise. Overhead press. I'm going to bend at my elbows, my palms face forward. Again, I'm going to lift toward the ceiling only as high as it's comfortable. Don't forget that. And bring it down. I'm going to go up and bring it down. Up and bring it down. Up and bring it down. Good. I could do one arm. Other arm. Good. If this isn't an exercise that works well for your shoulders, then don't do it. You've got 4 other exercises that you can stick with. Good. We're going to do one more. You've got it. Bring it down. Last leg exercise at the counter. And it's actually a balance exercise. Again, the kitchen sink's a good place because I can put my fingers over the side. Rolling my shoulders down and back. I'm going to place my right toes on the floor. Shoulders down and back, tip my pelvis, abs are engaged. I can stay just like this. I have 2 hands on the counter. I'm going to lift my right hand off the counter. So I've got my left foot down and my left hand on the counter. Can I do this with 2 hands off the counter? Might not be good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my left hand back on the counter and I'm going to take my fingers off the counter and just leave my palm there. Can I lift my right knee up? This may be as far as I can go. Because if I try to take my left hand off the counter, I might not have good balance. So, let me put my fingers and my thumb back down. Let me lift my thumb up. Maybe I can take my pinky off the counter. My ring finger. I've got my pointer and my middle finger holding me, and this is where I'm good. If I try to take my other hand, my full hand off, I might find myself losing my balance. But you're here, you're quick to the counter, drop the hands and hold on. Let's go to the other leg. Shoulders down and back, tip your pelvis, abs are engaged. This is your strength here. Left toes on the floor, I've got my heel up. I'm going to lift my left arm off the counter. I still have my full hand, fingers, thumb, palm on the countertop. I'm going to lift my fingers and thumb off. I'm going to lift my left knee up. Now again, I could hover my left toes just over the floor. I don't have to bring my knee up too high. Putting my fingers down. Can I take my thumb off? How about pinky? Can I take it to 2 fingers? Can I go with two hands off the counter? Look at something something that's not moving, and that will help with your balance as well. So play around a little bit with your balance. I could be on one leg, knee up. I could take two hands off, move my knee in and out. Keep one hand down, move one knee out to the side and back. Anytime you move, okay, it could be my head. I'm changing my body, and that will affect my balance. So start small. Start with a toe touch, hover, maybe lift the knee up a little higher. Two hands down, one hand down, both hands off, maybe fingers touching. Play around with it a little bit. Okay, that's what I've got. We've got 2 stations in our circuit. Go to your stations throughout the day. Don't do everything all at one time. Come in, do an exercise, go and do something else. Come back, do an exercise, and then go and do something else. You're in charge of how many reps you do it. You're in charge how many times you do the exercises. These are exercises you can do every day. Leave everything right where they are. And as a reminder, oh, I could do some squats right now. Let me do that. So next week, we're going to be working in the dining room, using the table as well as the living room, working in a chair that we enjoy sitting in if we're watching our favorite television program. That's going to be next week. Don't forget, the descriptions and the names of the exercises will be in the video description box under the video. All right, you have a great day. Stay well.